games left. It's a lot of football to be played. And like I said, our goal is to make sure we play the best football moving forward those last 5 weeks.
Before Nate, are you at all concerned about your job security at this point?
I'm not.
I mean, there's a lot of implications on this one, understanding where we're at, how the season's going, where we could have gone. Obviously, we still got 5 games left, but, yeah, we wanted to go into the bye with a win, and head in the right direction.
That was head coach Cliff Kingsbury, who's absolutely 100% not worried about his job whatsoever, followed by Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray, who is correct. There were plenty of implications following the Cardinals' 25-24 loss to the Chargers. Got a lot to get into. We got a great show for you guys today. But first, a message from our presenting sponsor, DraftKings. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is my go-to when betting on the NFL this holiday season. They've got same-game parlays, easy and fast payouts, player prop options, all the works. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same-game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, point totals, and much, much more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. Garrett, what bet do you like this weekend? Anything stand out to you?
Buffalo -4 against New England. It's at New England. Last week I got my pick right, got where the location was wrong and basically everything else wrong. But Buffalo -4. Right. Lock it in.
Okay, there we go. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TPPN. Place a $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, little bro. One thing I got to say to start is they just find ways to lose games. And that's what bad teams do. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. What's your thoughts about the whole situation?
They outchargered the Chargers.
Yeah.
I don't know it could be done, but they outchargered the Chargers. This one just sucked. It sucked because the high was so high and then it stalled so hard. I've never seen anything else stall harder than what their offense did in the second half. It was terrible.
It sucked because it felt so good at the beginning. They were up heading into halftime. Kyler scores a touchdown on the ground to put them up. I think it was 14-10 at that point. They were clicking in the first half. They had James Conner at 64 yards on the ground after he had a fumble on the opening drive, I think. But other than that, the Chargers front is so fucking soft. And you've been saying it for 2 years that the Chargers are overhyped and overrated. I still tended to think that there's just too much talent on that team. They'll be in the playoffs. Herbert's too good. This is the year they probably win a playoff game. They aren't on Buffalo or Kansas City's level, but I was like, the Chargers will get there. I fed into the media narrative. After watching their game, they're a soft football team. The Cardinals, with that atrocious offensive line, just bullied them up front for that first half. Like I said, I think Connor ended with 120 yards on the ground, by far his most in a game as a Cardinal. But they were not as good as I had envisioned. So credit to you.
They are what I thought they were, in a way. And that's what I've their run defense looks softer than what ours did. Ours does. It was bad. It was terrible.
I think they're 32nd in the NFL.
Yeah, I've been saying this. They're this for a while. Everyone else has hyped them up. I've held strong on my take, and look where we are now. Right.
So they're 5-5 now, or 6-5 now. But like I said, it was a painful loss because it did feel like they led the whole time. Like I said, they led going into half. The Chargers came, I believe, tied it. The Cardinals scored a late touchdown to go up 24-17, and it stuck there for a long, long time. For a loss, it was actually a pretty fun game for the majority of the time. It seemed like there was points going around.
Yeah.
It is fun to watch Herbert play. It's good to watch two quarterbacks play at a good level. Kyler came back, obviously. He had a little bit of a spark. 18 to 29 through the air for 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. The interception came on a 4th down play, which we will definitely get into. And he was 7 carries for 56 yards on the ground and a touchdown. 18 completions, like I said, 8 different wide receivers. So it seemed like having Hopkins and Hollywood there back, especially in the first half, really kind of opened things up. Hop had Hopkins? 4 catches, so that's kind of low, but 87 yards in the touchdown. Hollywood had 6 catches. So I don't know. That's why it's disheartening, because it just ended up falling apart. But what else stuck out to you on the offense, I guess?
You kind of nailed it with James Conner, and then I think that we finally, like you said, we finally got to see the full, well, not full formation because we're missing Zach Ertz, but what kind of made it also bittersweet is that we saw what could happen with this offense, even with missing Ertz and Rondale Moore. In that first half of the game, we saw what the ceiling of this offense is, or what could be happening, and then just to see it drop so hard and go back to the offense that we've been seeing for the first part of this, that's what kind of makes this suck so much ass, because it was so good. It looked so good. It looked so clean. It was perfectly scripted. It was awesome. It ruled. Another thing that Kyler ran a lot in this game. I don't know his exact
7
rushing
carries,
stats.
56 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that's his game high for the year for sure. But it seemed like they incorporated his legs a little bit more. It looked like more design runs, not so much, oh shit, nothing's happening, everything's covered, I'm gonna try and make a play and get a first down runs. I'm sure there's a couple of those, but it just seemed like every facet of the offense was working. Yeah, James Conner, who was fucking annihilating the Chargers front, and then you had D-Hop, who played well. AJ Green had a couple of nice targets. Trey McBride had a couple catches also, and then Hollywood had a couple. I mean, it was the passing game was working well, and then you saw Kyler's legs also. The 3 things we've been waiting on the first half happened, and then it fell off about as hard as it could in the second. So
I think they had 4 straight 3-and-outs to close the game or something like that. Something horrendous. We'll get to that. I thought the defense played a decent game. I think the Chargers only scored 11 points in the second half. But like I said, with that many 3-and-outs in a row for the Cardinals, you're not helping your defense out whatsoever. They can only make so many stops. It seemed like they were able to get a little bit more pressure on Herbert, getting a little more pressure on the quarterback than in weeks past. Shout out to Zach Allen. He had 4 quarterback hits and a sack. He played well. J.J. Watt had a sack. So they were piecing it together a little bit, and we'll get into crunch time a little bit now. The Chargers had the ball down 7 with like 3:30 to go, maybe around 4 minutes. They're driving a little bit. They're at the Cardinals 50, and Vance decides to ratchet up the pressure. Like, let's go. It's time to put this game away, get the ball back to the offense, let them milk the clock. Let's get out of here with a home win. So 3:30 to go. It's second down. They bring everybody. Herbert finally gets the ball away, gets it to Eckler. He picks up a couple yards, but he's stopped. So that brings up like a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. And then they bring the same blitz again. This time Isaiah Simmons comes flying up the gut. Huge sack. I think they lost 15 on that play. That was a situation where the Chargers most likely go for it on 4th with that much time on the clock and at that spot on the field. But you lose 15 on that play, you're screwed. So it was good to see them get aggressive. Like, the defense was like, let's go. Okay, the offense is not moving the ball whatsoever. They've stopped at a complete halt. We've got to go win this game. And they turned up the pressure, and they fucking went and did it. They just didn't do it on the next drive. So they get the stop. They punt it away to the Cardinals. Cardinals get the ball back at their own 10-ish. Is it 15-ish, something like that, after the punt. With 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. What was our favorite? Like, we came on here this show last year during the 7-0 streak so many times talking about it was so impressive that they just ran that clock out. They were up with the lead, and they just kept the drive going and stomped on their throats right there. Didn't even give them a chance. They didn't do that here. They had an opportunity. First down, I believe, was either a handoff or a quick pass for a couple yards. And then second down is a huge sack. Kyler goes down at his own 4. I believe they even ran the ball on third down just to try and give the punter some room. They pumped the ball back. Like I said, let me repeat. They got the ball with 2:19. The Chargers ended up back with the ball with 1:46. You can't have that in the spot where you have a chance to win the game.
Yeah, we talked about it last year, like you just said. Yeah, it was something that we were encouraged about in the fact that we could close out games. It was almost one of the worst endings or attempts to close out. Like that drive alone was one of the worst attempts to burn the clock I've ever. Like, it was pitiful. The sack, it couldn't have gone worse, really. That was like probably one of the most frustrating times of the whole season.
Well, lost the game.
That drive
That's what it all came down to. You had a chance and you couldn't get it done. So like I said, they get the ball back. And the punt was bad. We start at the 4. We have to punt from the 4-yard line. The Chargers got the ball at our own 40. So they were already right there. They didn't have very far to go. And like I said earlier, you're only going to stop Justin Herbert so many times. So he drives down the field, hits Eckler for a touchdown to make it 23-24. What do you think about the going for 2 there? Because we saw it in this game and we saw it with Doug Peterson and the Jags against the Ravens.
I mean, really, if I'm the Chargers head coach, on his name, but if I'm him, you just saw the Cardinals offense stall for 3 straight 3-and-outs. I'm kicking the field goal, knowing that even if they don't get the Chargers don't get the ball first, then you're not worried because that offense is going nowhere, absolutely nowhere. You just stopped them 3 times in a row with ease. So, I mean, he pulled out his nuts and they got it, which is awesome. I mean, good for them. In hindsight, it's awesome. But if it was me and if I were in that situation, I would have just kicked the field goal and then took it to overtime for how shitty that offense looked.
And that makes a lot of sense from that perspective. You're also looking at it. The Chargers are still in the hunt. They're not like us. We're kind of done for. So they needed it. That was almost their season on the line there with the Chiefs in their division. The AFC's got most of them in the East, a bunch of good, solid teams fighting for wild cards. If you fall to 5-6 there instead of 6-5, that's a tough spot to be in. So he's like, fuck it. We're right here. 2 yards for it all. Let's go. And they got it. They hit Jared Everett on a slant.
With ease.
Isaiah Simmons was out of position, completely played way too far off the ball in that situation. I don't know if there was some miscommunication or what, but they made it look easy, and they won the game. So credit to the Chargers. In a must-win situation like the Cardinals have been the past month, they actually got it done. So kudos. I guess we can get into the 3rd/4th down and 1 situation.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you haven't heard it already, the schematically fucked quote from Kyler, I'll put it in here, but I'm assuming you've heard this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll lay out the situation. It's 3rd and 1, I believe in the 3rd quarter, early 4th. The Cardinals run a read option. So it looks like in this situation if it's 3rd and 1, they're also on their own 34-yard line. Let's keep this in mind. So it's 3rd and 1. They run a read option play. Kyler keeps in a spot where it looks like James Conner probably would have picked up that first down. Keeps, ends up almost losing yard, but gets back to the line of scrimmage. So you're like, okay, fine, I guess we'll punt it away and we'll keep playing defense. Cliff decides to go for it. Okay, I don't know how did you feel about just that? We're going to go for it on 4th.
I'm fine with that. I've always been fine with the fact that he's ballsy and goes for shit like that. I've always been fine with that.
A 1-score game from your own 34-yard line.
I like it. I've always been fine with being aggressive.
I like aggressive, but at some point it's aggressively stupid. At some point you're so aggressive it's careless or reckless at some point. I don't know. I sent out I was like, this is a total trying to save my job fourth down attempt here. Like he said he might say that he's not worried about his job, but when you're making calls like that, you're pressing, is what I viewed it as. But I mean, to your point, he always does. Like he's been doing it, so maybe that's off base. But anyway, Kyler takes a snap. It's another RPO. He doesn't hand it to James Conner. He looks left, kind of rolls, and then just chucks it up to DeAndre Hopkins down the field, and it's picked off. So we're all sitting back at home like, oh my, another fucking deep ball on 3rd and short, 4th and short. What are we doing? We've got James Conner there. So fast forward to the post-game press conference. Kyler said this.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't for Hop, actually. Schematically, I mean, we were kind of fucked.
And the media took that and ran with it. You've seen it on SportsCenter. You've seen it on NFL Network. You've seen Barstool tweet it out. Just that one clip of him saying, yeah, we were schematically fucked. And I guess everybody took that as the game as a whole, we were fucked. So it just seemed like one big shot at Cliff. I don't know if how you
that's exactly what I take it as. I mean, I don't know. Time and time again, which you kind of said this already, but everyone's been saying this for the whole year. All the 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 deep balls are fucking. They're old.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait on. Do you not know the explanation to this?
What do you mean?
There's a 100% legit explanation for this whole thing.
What Kyler said, or for the play call?
Both.
No, I guess I don't.
Good thing I stopped you because you were about to look really stupid, brother.
Okay.
You were about to look really stupid.
I don't understand.
So, okay. So first of all, shout out to Benjamin Solak at Benjamin Solak on Twitter for breaking this whole thing down. And Cliff even broke it down at the press conference yesterday. Okay, it looks like, we're throwing it deep on 4th and 1, correct? That's not what happened. So the play call was an RPO to James Conner going right, and then Kyler keeps and then hits Trey McBride on a flat. Hopkins and Hollywood are blocking on the play. They're not even supposed to be running routes. Trey McBride is on the complete inside. Then you've got Hopkins and Hollywood. They're blocking, and Trey McBride is coming right underneath behind them. There was actually a perfect play call until like the safety that's supposed to be on McBride was back off the line. So Kyler's looking over. He's like, I'm going to keep this. McBride's going to be wide open. Right as the snap goes, the safety commits hard down on McBride. That's taken away, but he's already kept the ball at that point. And from there, it was just backyard football. I got to just throw it up at some point. It's 4th down. So when Kyler says we were schematically fucked, he was talking about that specific 4th down play, because the question was about that play. And he was just like, started to get into it. You could see, and he's like, schematically, we were fucked. He wasn't saying the game plan was fucked. He's like, the Chargers fucked that scheme. It wasn't any shot at Kingsbury or anything like that. Does that make more sense to you?
It makes 100% total sense, but I still wish it was a shot. I wish it was a shot so bad. That makes so much sense. That totally makes sense. That was actually a really good explanation. Exactly you should clip that. But I wish it was a shot so bad. That would be so
somebody
sweet.
Can go watch Benjamin Solak because he broke it down way better. Well, he even had the film. He had the all 22 pulled up, and you could see perfectly more. Or McBride just came right out the flat. Hollywood had his hand. He was blocking, like he wasn't even. Yeah. He was already. So honestly, that was probably OPI in some kind of sense. But yeah, so it was just the schematically they were fucked. Exactly what Kyler said, and it just got taken and ran with a million different ways. But that's the Cardinals, man. That's what this team has been for 2 years. So I'm glad that we cleaned that up for you.
Yeah, I actually whenever you're like halfway through explaining it, I did know that sort of. I didn't know exactly how it was, but I knew that there was wasn't exactly meant towards Kingsbury. But I wish it was. That'd be cool.
Anyway, but yeah, I thought that was funny because it was going everywhere. But what else about this game? Let's say something that was really unfair. Did you see that side by side that CBS put up?
Yeah, that was fucking stupid. That was a low blow.
So mean.
Whatever fucking intern put that together, exactly what they were doing whenever they did it. That's a low blow.
Tallest quarterback in the NFL, Justin Herbert, 6'6". Shortest.
What pisses me off is like 5'10" isn't it's not short. Like I'm like 6 foot or like 5'11", 6 foot. You're like the same or right under maybe. It's not that like it's like it's not that short. Like if like no one says shit about ever since he's been drafted. Russell Wilson's height. No one said shit about his height ever since he's been drafted. He's like 5'11". He might be 6 foot. Like I think he's listed as 6 foot.
There, he's shorter than 6 foot. But yeah.
There's no like no one says shit or like who's let's think here. I'm
another
blanking.
Quarterback.
Another quarterback who's like normal size. It doesn't. It's whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. You're kind of getting defensive over a boy. He's back.
I'm just.
He's back.
Never.
Well, those jokes will never end. That
was just so low hanging fruit. Like, just say something funny. Like the Call of Duty shit's bull. It's just annoying. Height stuff's annoying. Say something like
this is what happens when us Cardinals fans have to deal with the same fucking shit over and over and over again. If it's got to be a joke, make it a little more original. Like, and that's all that I ask. You can make fun of us because we deserve to be made fun of, but make it funny. That's all that I have to say.
Talk about how he's like ugly or how he looks like a frog, sort of. Like, talk about that, or like talk about how like I don't know.
That's my handsome.
You could say a lot
guy.
of things.
That's enough.
Talk about D-Hop and the steroid thing. That's kind of new. That's kind of new.
A little newer. Even that's getting old, but that's fine. But maybe we have too thin a skin. Who knows?
Steroid boy. That's funny.
Other things in the game. They covered. The spread was plus 2.5.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't know that.
They covered at least. That's a win. So I'll say this about the game as a whole. I talked to our dad about this. I seen him yesterday. Honestly, it was as heartbreaking as a loss could get, like in terms of just the gameplay. Like for them to go let up that touchdown, the Chargers score with 18 seconds left, and then hammer a 2-point conversion over your head to walk it off pretty much. Like that's a fucking punch to the gut. But I didn't hardly feel it. I felt way worse after Monday night because the season was already over. Like this game didn't. Yeah. It really.
That's kind of what I feel. I feel like it was just. It was like getting shot. It's like you've been shot in the head like already, and then you got shot in the head again. Like it didn't really feel much. It didn't really do much. If anything, it just 100% solidified that this season's trash, and we can look forward to a new uniform. That's right. All it really did.
You know what else we can look forward to? A new coach. So let me get into that. Like I said, I thought it would be a terrible loss, but they were already done. So, and I thought the offense and its pieces, like we talked about earlier, the key guys, they all looked really good for the most part. And even some of the young players on defense, I named Zach Allen, Isaiah Simmons had a couple big plays. Marco Wilson had a huge pass breakup, running from the hash to the sideline, an awesome breakup. There were pieces there where it's like, okay, that core looks like there is some core good talent there.
Yeah.
So they played good enough to be appealing to maybe a future head coach, but they also played bad enough to lose the game and get their current head coach fired. Sorry, Cliff. So really, in a way, it's kind of like a lose-win-win. Like that's kind of the best way I can describe it. So obviously, the head coach that I'm talking about is former New Orleans Saints coach Sean Payton, Super Bowl winner, offensive genius, legitimately. What does that make you feel when you hear Sean Payton, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals?
I think it's a reach. I've never really subscribed to it. I think it's a reach. You
think it's a reach even after he said he had his eyes on the Cardinals and the Chargers?
Is that 100% confirmed, or is that just Twitter speculation?
ESPN reporters.
I don't know. I don't. Don't get me wrong. I would love it to happen, but I just don't see it. For some reason, I just feel like that's not possible.
My only hang up is this whole time, even going back to when he was still with the Saints, was Sean Payton's going to end up the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Like that's what is coming down the line. But you look at the Cowboys, they're a good football team. They might go win a couple playoff games. But the Cowboys are probably the second, third best team in the NFC. Mike McCarthy's not getting fired. And it's said that Payton wants to come back next year. He doesn't want to sit back another year and wait. So if he's not waiting on that Cowboys job, he might not have a whole lot of other options. Also, did you know this? Sean Payton was a ball boy for the St. Louis Cardinals back in the 80s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to college in, I think, Eastern Illinois. So he was there around the team. Little Joe Buck was 16 around the team because his dad was calling games. You had RIP Bill Bidwell running the team. He had a personal relationship with him. So there's some connections going back and forth. I put out a video about Sean talking about Kyler at the combine prior to the draft. He said he loved his tape. His tape was too good. It overlooked the height. He said he had good hand size. The tape was awesome, and he liked the player as a prospect a lot coming out. Obviously, that's 4 years ago now. A lot of shit has transpired since. But behind the scenes, we've got Kyle Odegaard and other reporters saying that they've heard Sean is a big fan of Kyler. So if he likes the quarterback, if he likes the organization, he's got a prior relationship with them, and we keep kind of these young core guys kind of keep showing that they're capable of being successful, who knows what can happen. So we're going to cross our fingers, and you need to fucking get your mood up about it and get behind it here, because we need to push for it. We need to put the energy into the air.
I hope. I don't know. I hope.
So when he gets hired, can we have like a wager or something? Like, what, you don't think it's going to happen?
No, I don't. No, I'm not putting the. I don't want to put my bad.
Your bad vibes, bad energy, all of it.
I don't want that on it. I want it. I think you're misunderstanding. I want it to happen. I think it'd be cool. I think he's cool. I think his movie sucked, but I think he's cool.
I turned it off halfway through. And I love Kevin James.
Yeah, say as much as I love Kevin
King
James,
of Queens, baby.
King of Queens. Great. What do you call that?
Sitcom?
I almost called it a podcast. Oh,
no, that's a television show.
That's not
You're
that.
all about the new age media, baby.
Yep. I'm a media head. Rules. The movie sucked. And he's cool though. I like him. He's won a Super Bowl, which one of our coaches has never done.
Nope, we've never had a Cardinals coach win a Super Bowl. That's for sure.
Nope, that's no. What else has he done that's cool? He also almost went to jail for the targeting.
He didn't go to jail. Well, okay. Well, now that you brought it up, what does that hinder you at all? The fact that he ended Kurt Warner's career and possibly our chance at going to another couple playoffs runs?
No, I think that's metal. I think that's cool. I think that's
cool. Pretty fucking hardcore. I think
that's cool. I mean, if our team would have been doing it to somebody else, that would be cool. It
kind of gives you some street cred, so I'll give that to him there. So it's all coming up for Sean Payton, all landing up. I don't think there's any scenario where any Cardinal fan should hold that over his head. That would be immediately our second best coach of all time. I wouldn't put him above Arians just because he actually had some playoff success with them and really turned this team around. But right when he walks in the door, that's some football pedigree that we have hardly ever had here in Arizona.
What will
culture
suck
restart.
Whenever Cliff gets fired, it just sucks because he's hot and he has IG models of the game all the time, and that part will definitely be gone because Sean Payton is not hot. Which that matters. It does. So that's gonna be a bummer.
Well, yeah, it's tough, and because you don't like to see anybody fail. Cliff will be fine though. Cliff is going.
Dude, fuck Cliff. He's so rich. He's gonna be so rich.
Gonna be so loaded.
He'll get a cool ass he'll get a cool ass fucking college job. Like he'll probably go coach like fucking.
He may go to Auburn. Who knows?
He'll go coach Oklahoma. Probably. Yeah. I don't know who they're coaching.
Oklahoma's having a terrible year, so
he'll go coach Oklahoma. That'd be cool. He'll be fine.
Yeah, good for Cliff. Yeah, so I do feel a little bad because I do like him. I think he's fun to listen to. I think he's got a good personality, great guy, does charity work, gets awesome hot chicks, lives in that cool house.
Awesome, sexy, beautiful.
You know what? It didn't work out. So we'll see how it plays out. And you want to hear some bad stats, some really bad stats on why he should be fired.
Yeah.
Let me put a little drop. I'll put a little drop in right here for the segment. Hold on, quiet.
Bad stats.
That was the bad stats drop. Okay. You want to hear?
Yeah.
The Cardinals are 0-8 this year when facing a team with a record of 500 or better. 0 wins, 8 losses. just this season.
That's not
The
good.
Cardinals in their past 11 home games are 1-10.
It's not good. You're supposed to win at home, right?
1-10 in their past 11 home games. These are numbers that you just can't keep your job with. So apologies to Cliff, but those are horrific.
Don't you think they would have fired him already?
If they were to do it in season. If they were to do it in season, yeah.
It's Tuesday at 8:00. So like if obviously, okay, hypothetical. Let's say if he wins out, do you think he keeps his job?
Probably.
If he wins out, but they don't make the playoffs,
yeah, he'll keep it.
You think so?
Yeah. If they win more than 7 games, he might keep it.
That's probably what's going to happen.
You think so? You think this
He'll
team
probably
can win 3 of their last?
How many games are left? 6.
They're played 12. There's 5 games left. You think they can go 3-2?
I mean, if they played like they did the first half of this past game, yeah.
I think they've got bye week, Patriots, Broncos. They've got another game against the Niners. I couldn't name it all off the top, but there's some.
I think they split with the Broncos,
or
I think that they split with the Niners, and then they beat the Broncos.
What in the fuck makes you think that they can beat the team that just did that to us on Monday night? What in the world could
Tyler was hurt?
I guess. But I think we both agreed after watching that it didn't matter who the fuck was at quarterback for that game.
Yeah.
It was that ugly. They just are out too physical.
Football's a game of runs.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what could happen? But let's just hope that doesn't happen. Because I don't want to be stuck here in purgatory of mediocrity. I'd rather move on. Whether it's Sean Payton or not.
That's some fancy language. Stuck in a purgatory of mediocrity.
Wasn't that pretty good after I said it?
That was pretty good. That was eloquent.
They say you get pretty good at podcasting after 40 episodes or so. And we're not quite at 40, so we're not that good at it yet, but you can see flashes. Anywho, I don't know really what else I got about this game or this team really going forward. We're going to have a couple guests to close out the season here, maybe some more. Try and have something to talk about, you know. One thing, shout out to Farrell Cooper. Do you notice Farrell Cooper was back out there? Remember Farrell Cooper? He was our kick returner for this week.
No, I don't remember that.
He was like Kyler's rookie year. Farrell Cooper was like our number 3 receiver. Number 12 had a shooting seat. You don't remember? Okay. Well, either way, that shows you how far the receiving core has come. So good for them.
Also, it shows you how far the receiving cores came. Trent Sherfield for Miami.
I recall, yes.
He like kind of rules now. He's pretty good. There's another like receiver around the same capability that plays for a different team.
Demir Bird.
Good. Demir Bird. Who's he play for?
I think the Falcons.
Yeah, I've seen him on Red Zone a couple times.
Couple red zone appearances, baby. I just want to shout out Farrell. You know, he's back. He's been bounced around the league, and I thought it was kind of cool. You know, they sucked so bad. Kyler's rookie year, 5-10. It was Larry, Christian, Farrell Cooper, Demir Bird,
Sherfield was probably there.
Andy Isabella.
Is Andy Isabella still on the active roster?
No, they cut him, right? They cut Andy a long time ago.
I would remember that.
No, I think it was in our hiatus. Where
he hasn't been cut.
There's no way he's still on the roster.
He hasn't been cut.
Hold on.
He hasn't been cut. I would have.
No, yeah, he was cut. He was picked up by the Ravens. He's on the practice squad. Yeah, I was going to say, if we haven't heard about Andy and he's still on this roster, that'd be fucking crazy.
That's kind of sad.
Wish the best of luck to him out there.
I'm sure he's like the nicest guy.
Sure, same with Cliff. It's the same deal. Great people. It just seemed like he had something wrong with them. They just couldn't remember. They're not good. They're not. They didn't do their jobs. So
yeah. Also, you guys missed out on my sweepstakes last week. Everyone missed out. No one listened to the end and added me on Twitter to claim the Kyler Murray rookie card.
Maybe they all listened to the end. They just didn't want the card.
Sure, we'll go with that. So I'm running the promotion again. Whoever, it's Black Friday in the eve of or wake of Black Friday. If someone listens to the end and adds me on Twitter And the new code word is, let's say the new code word is
Firecliff.
Brooks. It's Brooks. We're not going to say what that means, but the new code word is Brooks. Someone ats me and says, no. I like Firecliff better. That's way
Yeah, I was
better.
gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just like an inside thing. If someone ats me and says Firecliff, even though he's hot, at me and say Firecliff, even though he's hot, yeah, I will send you a Kyler Murray rookie card.
There you have it. We'll see if anyone.
So let's see if
has
anyone
the
does it
chops
this
to
week.
do that. All right, that's it. We'll possibly have a guest next week. We'll see what happens. So,
And their initials are L and F, and we won't give you any more details.
okay, I don't. Yep. Oh, I see what you did there. Anyway, all right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Go Birds.